And hello, folks. It is I, Kamikaze. I'm here to bring you a review on this little device called the Illy Translator. It translates English to Japanese, Spanish, and Chinese. I got it because I wanted to go to Japan and be able to immerse myself in their culture and check things out. So this little device, since I already did an unboxing and a review, which I scrapped because I got the wrong idea when I reviewed it, and I would have given the wrong idea. So what I've got here is in the box. It comes with a USB cable, a lovely neck strap, and a couple of manuals. And well, the manuals are all pretty much summed into this as well, which is the Japan Travel Guide. There's no Chinese, there's no Spanish travel guide, just this one. Which, like right here, tells you to ask for 3 things to know when shopping in Japan: duty free, wrapping, extra bags. It also has some phrases up top which you can use. Do you have different colors? Can I try this? If you flip through some other pages, you can find things like are you free tonight? Why don't we drink together? Which I'll cover the issues with that in just a moment. There's also more phrases in the back. Can this be shipped to the United States, which is most popular? Can you do wrapping? So we're going to hop over back to the Illy itself. It's a cool little device. You can do things like, where is McDonald's? And so hopefully you can hear that just fine. And then you can push the button on the side. It will repeat what you have said. And one of the things I have a problem with is the fact that I don't want to sound like a chipmunk on helium or a borderline psychotic Elmo. Um, for being a man, at least, I mean, there could have been a much more either normal voice would be preferred, I guess. The other thing is, this thing is only designed for travel phrases, travel words. If you say something that's not in its dictionary, it will try and guess, and it will translate it before actually consulting you. But if you ever wonder what it was saying, you just push the button and it'll do it. Like I've said, I am a vampire, and what it comes up is, I am an umpire. I am a vanpliers. I am a set fire. I mean, it's come up with so many things because it's trying to guess at what I was saying because vampire is not in its dictionary. So if you went to a store and said, I would like a vampire book, they would not understand a single thing that you are saying. The other problem is that this will not allow you to immerse yourself in the culture. The problem is that this is a one-way communication device. They claimed that it was too garbled or too messed up to try and do two-way communication, too difficult, uh, because there would be stuff lost in translation and whatnot. That's a load of bull. There are ways of doing that and so forth, and I will demonstrate that in a moment. Well, what we've got is that since this is one way, you can communicate yourself to another person, but they can't communicate back to you. If you ask a question and they ask like a following question, you won't know how to answer because you don't understand. If you understood Japanese, you wouldn't be using this. Um, and if you had a translator, you wouldn't be using this. I mean, because this is supposed to be your translator. I'm talking like a human translator. So let's say, I mean, in this thing, you could say that I was mugged by a little girl, and it would translate that pretty accurately. Uh, but saying that to police, and then you have another problem because they're going to ask you information on what happened, and you can't respond. And again, it goes back to if you could speak Japanese, you could respond. If you had a translated person there, you could respond, and you wouldn't need this thing. Uh, it takes away from it because, like as it said there, we should go drinking tonight or so get a drink together or whatever it said. Well, how are they going to respond to you? Just yes? How do you arrange? I mean, you could just be like, how does 8 p.m. sound? Uh, can we go to this place? Or if you say, do you know of a good place? Would you like to meet here at 8? I mean, you only get to communicate with them and they can nod yes or no. You don't have the ability to actually have a conversation. Because when you go out drinking, what are you going to do? What do you like to do for fun? As she speaks Japanese to you and you just nod your head and go, "That's fantastic. That's amazing." I mean, you're missing out on the actual reason for going to another place. Is the culture, is the people, is the communication. And so, what Illy claims is that it boots fast, it translates fast, it doesn't need Wi Fi. And that's the reason why you shouldn't use like your Android phones or smartphones in order to do it because it takes too long. You have to type, it's hard to understand, it takes too long, was the primary thing. But that's a lie. And I'll show you that's a lie. Because we're going to move the illy off to the side. And yes, this means I'm not recommending the illy. It means I'm returning the illy because this was a colossal waste of money. Because there's so much easier things to do. It took me a matter of 5 minutes to set up my phone for this. So we're going to scoop my phone right here. And so we're talking about the boot speed now. We go boop, boop. Look, there's that. I have the thing down here, and there is Google Translate. Takes a whopping 2 seconds, and it boots up. We're going to adjust that to right there. And you can see it's already ready to go. You click the translate. Hello, how are you doing today? Oh, minus the fact I need to show you that up top, I am not connected to Wi-Fi or my data. And I have full voice translation and Japanese to English translation without being connected. It's simple as that. Plus, here's the kicker. There is a Japanese to English option where you can go, Konnichiwa. Hello. Boom. It's talking back and forth. Means that there is two-way communication here. And you can do far more. I could literally go, I am a vampire here to suck your grandma's blood and drain her life force. And you can see that there is much wider range because the illy, you can only do short phrases. If you do long phrases, it starts butchering it the longer it gets, the longer it takes to translate. Where Google Translate is an app that's available free for your phone, and you have the ability of going dozens and dozens of languages where this one only covers 3 in one direction. You have the ability of doing this so much easier. And plus, if you are curious, I am going to make a video showing you how to do this on your own Android phone. I'm not sure about the compatibility of different phones, depending on how old your Android phone is, but it should work with the Google Translate. This makes it so you can have conversations where you could sit at a table with the girl you asked for a drink and you can ask her a question and it will say it in Japanese. And then she could turn around, hit the Japanese button, speak in Japanese, and respond to you. Obviously, no translation device or program is going to be 100% perfect, but you're sure in the hell going to have more of a conversation and a enjoyable time in Japan with this. Because you can get more details on the stuff you buy. You can express yourself more clearly in longer sentences and get everything out there that you want to get out there. So, honestly, the illy is a waste of time, a waste of money, because this thing is made in China, even though they're based out of Tokyo. I will definitely say that the quality of this thing is good. I mean, it's well built, but its usefulness is so limited that there's no reason not to use your phone, especially when you can do it without being connected to the internet. Means you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. You saw how fast this booted on my phone, which means I could boot it off my phone. Hell, if I left the program open and just unlocked my phone, it'd be right at it, and then I could turn around and hit talk and express myself to like a cab driver. I need to go down the road to the McDonald's and whatnot. I mean, there's not a single thing you can't try and translate. The Queen of England is the last Jedi on Earth and is the only hope to save mankind. And then if I say it through here and go, the Queen of England is the last Jedi on Earth and is the only hope to save mankind. As you notice, it didn't even say Jedi in there. It didn't even try to just pronounce it and like this did. And let's hear what it actually said. Thought I said. It's the last July on Earth. So it got everything but the Jedi. So if you want to talk to Star Wars to someone in Japan, you can talk to Star Wars in Japan. And did you see how long it took to translate? It took a ridiculous amount of time. I mean, I tried to use as many words as I could and throw in a word that it most likely wouldn't know, just to see if what the Google Translate would do with it and what the Illy would do with it. And unfortunately, it's since it heard the word Jedi, it looked for the closest word that it had in its dictionary to sound like it. So now it's The Last July on Earth. That's going to be a great movie. So, just given the aspect between these two devices right here, it is clear that the Google Translate is a better option because it is not as illy proclaimed. It is available offline, it's available for voice, it's available two-way communication, it quick boots, and is reliable. You have a screen to see what you say, and they have a screen to see what they say, allowing for the clearest communication that is possible, giving you the ability to ask that girl on a date and maybe get to second base.